it going? Apologies, but not too many apologies. You're going to hear some sizzling and crackling at the moment. I am a real human with real things, and I know that many of you can relate to me in that regard. So Monday is a bit of a hectic day. It used to be my day of recovery and my day off, but it has since shifted. So I'm in the midst of making myself brunch. Well, we'll say brunch. I have a small something just before 8 a.m. every morning, but this is my larger meal. So I'll call it brunch because it'll satiate me for breakfast, a larger breakfast and lunch. And apologies for the transitioning. But I wanted to stop in and give you all some tidbits on what's going on during this eclipse season. So we heard a lot about it, right? We've got the full moon and the lunar eclipse that are happening today, March 25th. And with that information, please understand one thing before we go any further. Eclipse season is not a bad period. Eclipse season to me holds the energy of something that, you know, most tarot readers are accustomed to, which is the Tower card in the tarot. Now, why do I bring that up? The Tower energy is an energy that's rife with destruction, chaos, feeling like the rug is being pulled from underneath you, suddenly having to shift and pivot, and if you feel like you're doing this and like blocking and like trying not to trip and fall, or you feel like you're constantly miscalculating and misstepping, you're likely having a Tower moment, right? Your Saturn return, if you're familiar with the Saturn return, is a series of Tower moments. It's stripping you down, it's breaking you down to common parts. But the beautiful part about the Tower, which is why it's one of my favorite cards in the tarot, is that it always reminds you that you're resilient and you can land on your feet. You're like a cat with 9 lives, right? So I bring that up because eclipse season is just that. There's so many things that are moving quickly. There's so many things that are being dismantled, so many things that are shifting and pivoting, and you yourself are going to feel that energy. It's going to feel very chaotic. Some of it's organized chaos, some of it's noise. Putting that out there. I personally have been hearing a lot of noise. I have been filtering out a lot of noise. And with that, have made it a point to kind of scale down during eclipse seasons. That's how I process them. I find them to be very loud. I find them to be very noisy. And it's easier for me to center and kind of move forward. Especially when we're navigating them during transitional seasons like the spring, right? It makes it easier for me to see the forest for the trees, as one of my spiritual mentors used to say all the time. So shout out to Otis. I wanted to say that because as we go into the eclipses that we have happening today, March 25th, as well as the one on April the 8th, even though one is a solar and one is lunar, the other one is happening in the sign of Libra, which is today. The other one is happening in the sign of Aries, which they are polar opposites of one another on the astrological wheel. I want you to be mindful. That is if you are following Western astrology. I want to put that out there too. If you're not going based off of astrological sign, but you are going based off of the event, focus on lunar eclipse as opposed to solar eclipse. All right. Both of these energies are very childlike. Remember, spring is about renewal, regeneration, growth, right? These are all things that we see in the infancy of something. So it's a perfect time for you as a creative to jump in there, start creating something, start moving forward with a plan, a project, anything, even starting a new relationship. This is a beautiful time for you to get out there. I keep hearing make friends, but there's a caveat to that, and we'll get to that, okay? This is a great time for new, embracing the new. Change up your hair color, wardrobe, new workout routine, freshen up scents. Like I'm big on, like this time of the year is when I usually try out new perfumes for the year. I'm really big on smell and the way I smell in particular. So this is a time where I like to see what's going on in the sensuous side of life, right? The reason I said focus on that energy is because the other thing you're going to notice too is that you may start seeing some illnesses that are linked to like childhood popping up. My son just got over the flu. I know some other children who ironically are starting to have chicken pox. You know, kids are germy little vectors anyway, but just notice like there's an infectious nature to children. Like we always talk about infectious laughter, infectious happiness, but they're also infectious, right? So be mindful with hand washing and making sure that you're paying attention to your proximity to people who may be a little bit more careless, right? Because carelessness and, you know, even fractures and random clumsiness that we see in children, you may start taking on some of those characteristics. Beautiful time for you to tap into your inner child, though. So if you're thinking about trying parkour, here where I live in Central Texas in Austin, there's a lot of adult obstacle courses, like trying out some of those. Consider it, okay? Perfect time for you to tap into your inner creative. Perfect time for you to really start planning out what it is that you want and executing parts of the plan, the smaller bites. The reason why I'm focusing on starting is because Libra and Aries, and some people will argue me down about the Libra part on this, can both be impulsive, right? So do the research, create the strategy, and ask for help, but be mindful of the source. This is also a time where you're going to see a lot of blasts from your past with exes, people that may slide in your DMs that you haven't talked to in like 20, 30 years. This is a time where maybe past childhood trauma may come up for you. This is a time where you think you've done the work for something, but maybe didn't go as deep as you thought you did in therapy. That's going to show its ugly head. But Aries energy in particular is really great for being a catalyst. So starting something, it is not the best for sustaining something. Libra energy, a Libra will outwork anybody. The question sometimes with the Libra is they get so caught up in working for the brand that they forget their personal why. So the reason I'm bringing all this up in the very gumbo-like way that I just did is because your job during this period is to take in the external information, take it under consideration and advisement, utilize it as you see fit, but do not act on impulse with anything. If anybody's coming to you with this flash in the pan idea or this quick, hurry up, gotta move now, move fast type of opportunity for a job, for work, for business, relationship, if anything is moving hot, hard, and fast, now is not the time to do that. If it's important or if it's meant to be in your orbit, it will be there after the 6 to 8 week window, after eclipse season. I'm here to tell you, okay? This is a time where emotions are going to be high. This is a time where people are going to be so caught up in the love and romance of things. People are going to be a little bit more rude, a little bit more impulsive, a bit more bold. And while people are always thinking Libra energy is always seeking balance, in order to seek balance, there's chaos in between there and that flux. All right? So be mindful of that as you're moving forward during the eclipse season. I cannot stress this enough. Do not move on impulse. This is a time to exercise some restraint. This is some time for you to parent and nurture your inner child. This is a time for you to feed it through activity. Totally. Both Libra and Aries are amazing creators, amazing artists. You know, beautification is like huge for both of them. I don't know if you've ever been to an Aries home. It's like a curated gallery. Go to a Libra's home, even the quirkier ones. Clean lines, very curated. Like they are very intentional with what they do. Harness that energy. Take this time to tap into your inner creative and get the project started. Curate what it is that you want. Do so under the radar. But anything externally that is trying to make you move faster, harder, beyond your limits in a way that is just soul sucking, don't do it right now. This is not the best time to go into anything impulsively. Take in the information and then assess. Okay? I cannot stress this enough. Especially if you're trying to cement something that's going to have a longer standing legacy. Okay? You can't move on impulse. I'm not saying that there aren't moments where that could be beneficial. I'm just saying, by and large, like 80% of what I'm getting is slow down. If the world is trying to force you to speed up, it is your job to slow down. Okay? Let me know how that resonates for you. And honestly, that has a lot to do with both sides of this. You know, Aries energy has everything to do with childhood stuff, the head. So if you're noticing like headache or anything like that, this is also Aries energy tends to gain weight from the waist up. So tend to have broader shoulders. If you're noticing that you're getting broader shoulders or maybe even shoulder aches, right? This is a great time for you to like do work in terms like arm workouts and things like that. This is also a great time for you to switch your pillow if you're having issues with headaches, hydration, all the things. Libra rules the lower back and butt. So this is a great time for you exercise wise to focus on squats. It's a perfect time for you to focus on lower back support. This is the perfect time for you to like switch around your work environment, making it a little bit more ergonomically friendly, meaning make sure you have furniture or things in place that support your ability to work if you have to sit a lot or if you have to stand a lot. Maybe getting one of those cushion pads, or like even me, I cook a lot at home. So I have these foam slippers because they act like the foam pad whenever I walk around the house. It helps my lower back a lot. What else can I offer you? Additionally, with all of that, just know that Eclipse energy is asking you to let certain things, any noun that no longer serves you, it needs to fall apart. It needs to fall away. And that's so that way you are clearing out energy for what is meant for you to have moving forward. It's a really dynamic energy. It can be very confusing. It can be very chaotic. But just know at the end of the day, it's here to help. It's not here to hurt. All right? Keep your gazes forward. For those of you who follow me on Patreon, thank you for your love and your support. I sincerely appreciate it, especially those who are new to the family. Woo! Welcome. So glad to have you. Grateful for you supporting my side of the multiverse, and hopefully you're finding value in what I'm offering you as well. With that, there's bonus content that has been uploaded about this particular eclipse cycle, so please go check it out. For those of you who are not on Patreon yet but are interested, you should check it out. Membership starts at $3.33 a month, meaning $3.33 a month, and happy to share what I know. Thanks so much for tuning into my side of the multiverse. Let me know if this is helpful. Drop some comments below. Consider a thumbs up. That would be great. Like, share, and subscribe. All the things. Keep your gazes forward, y'all. Bye.